today is February 5th, 2026. It is 5:19 a.m. I just did a video. I was gonna do it for regular tweet, but I ended up talking mostly about Haiti and Barbados, Ethiopia, and all of that. So I decided to make a video by itself. So let's go on Twitter and focus on the agenda. Alright, first tweet. I'm actually offended that all these black authentic country artists got passed over, and while white music industry made him relevant, black immigrants have still refused to learn from black Americans, as though we do not know our history and how it has impacted the world. Okay, I was aware of the Grammy. Okay, I even did a video regarding Tiana Taylor. Okay, I didn't watch it. I did not watch the entire Grammy. Unlike, like in the 90s, you would sit behind the TV, watch it with a family. It's not that interesting to me anymore. Alright, so let me listen to her.
I never thought this shabuzi conversation around him saying that immigrants built America would be met with so much pushback to black Americans trying to educate people that this is ahistorical and is absolutely incorrect. I had a couple of people mentioning the Chinese and others building railroad, which, feel free to look it up for yourself, was somewhere in the late 1800s. Riddle me this. What year were the enslaved forcefully brought to Jamestown? I'll give you a hint. It was 2.5 centuries before any railroads were being built. 2.5 centuries of forced and unpaid labor that has grossed this nation in the trillions of dollars. And let me just...
This is why African Americans said the foundational African American. The very first foundation. I don't know, any immigrants who come to the United States and to dare disrespect African American, the foundational African American, it's not right. It's not right, because if you understand the fight that they went through to allow certain laws to be able to pass and give you the opportunity to even step in the country, it's not right. It's just not right for other immigrants to come and disrespect African American, because they have lost their lives, sweat, blood, and tears to give other people the opportunity. And let's not forget as well, okay, this is something I said a little bit right after the election, where the envy, the image people around the world, including Europe, used to have of the United States, where they want to come. You see all the fun, even in the 60s, 70s, 80s, okay, the fun images that the United States used to sell to other countries, where they want their citizens will want to come in the US to join that joy, okay? It is all because of African American. Now, after Trump won the election, one of the things that I said, now Europe is gonna see like the kind of support that they used to get from America, okay, it's not gonna be there anymore. The thing are still there, the videos are still there. You guys could go and check them out. I don't know which video I said them, but you could, the time frame I would say a little bit after Trump won the election. I guess after my depression of knowing that Trump won, and I started recording again. I mean, I didn't take a long break. I think I took a day off, and just disbelief that people didn't see, and this is what they voted for, when we had already had an experience of his presidency. So it gave me a little bit a depression. But once I understand, accepted, I get back on track. But anyway, it's not fair for anybody to disrespect the foundational African American. Okay? I wasn't born here, but I see their work. I understand the struggles that they went through to give everybody, including myself, that opportunity to come here. All right, so let's continue.
Just say, I for one don't put Shabuzi in any form of hierarchy. As someone who openly expressed that his stage name is the literal mispronunciation of his actual last name.
I'm Nigerian American, so my last name is actually pronounced Chibueze. And just growing up in Virginia, like everybody just did not know how to enunciate my name. So they was just like, Shabuzi, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna just run with that. Telling my homies, should that be my artist name? I was pretty skeptical about it, but they was like, nah, that's hard.
Mind you, he's from Woodbridge, Virginia. It's 30 minutes away from DC. The continued dismissal of the contributions of Black Americans in this nation is also a continued dismissal of the plight of Black Americans in this nation. When we look at where it is that we are with the attack on immigration, we are rerunning through this cycle of violence. Because when we have tried to educate folks on who it is that we are and our experiences in this country, folks want to start from building railroads, but not picking cotton. Folks want to start after the Emancipation Proclamation, but not the running of bare feet in the middle of the night with the hope of escaping the tyranny of rape and castration and the open experimentation on Black people. So when folks see 5-year-old Liam Ramos kidnapped by ICE, everyone is wondering, how could this happen? But I immediately thought about Emmett Till and his kidnapping in the middle of the night and what he looked like during his open casket funeral, which you can see his casket in the National Museum of African American History and Culture. It is far less about Shabuzi's willful ignorance, but a collective willful ignorance that misinforms people that they deserve a level of humanity that we don't. And that is xenophobic.
Yeah.
I never thought this Shabuzi.
It's like everything that African American, the foundational African American, have fought for to prevent from this thing from happening. I mean, the progress that they made, the foundational African American, the progress that they made, it took them a long time. But each time we're supposed to build on it, on their progress. And then you have some newcomers coming in and dismissing their progress. And then you're not going to get help from the white people, the supremacists who's trying to suppress it. Yeah, they will get you on board with them, similar to what the Asian did with the college thing, college admission, affirmative action. All of these foundational African American who help create to have a fair entry level to come to go to those top universities. But the Asian felt otherwise. I mean, not all, but a good portion of them. And what did the white did? They speed process it. And then now some of the Asians are not even getting in anymore. All right. So that's that. What are some of the comments here? I didn't watch the Grammys, so I don't know. Let's see here. They don't want us and the industry anymore. We are saying no too much, and we're hip to the game. They want fresh fish. They're not black. Yes, they want to rewrite history. They can't erase us. U.S. Black History Month. About 4.8 to 4.9% of the free population own slaves. That's literally less than 6% of the population. There is literally zero way for them to do all the work because a lot of the population then owned slave on downside wax. They were racist. I was thinking of something. Oh my God, I forgot what I was thinking. You know what? Let's go to the next tweet. Shit, I was thinking of something. All right, next tweet. Okay, so let's pause this. What is that? This one is almost a minute. Black American towns, cities were always self-sufficient and economical sound. Then they were always sabotaged and attacked by envious racists. Alright, this is why a lot of African American, they were like, okay, if Trump wants segregation, let's go. Let's do the segregation because they do better without the interracial thing, because the envy, the jealousy, the same thing you be seeing with what they're trying to do with, you know, let me not bring them here to not give any idea. You know, the typical couple we've been talking about on my channel. All right. So they do better on their own. All right, let's listen to this.
And every time we created something big, it was destroyed, burned down.
Like where? Wilmington, North Carolina, Eatonville, Rosewood, Tulsa, Philadelphia, Chester, Pennsylvania. Wilmington, North Carolina,
Black Wall
Beaufort, South
Street,
Carolina,
in Jersey.
Yeah, anytime we had any infrastructure, two things happened. Have you been to Central Park?
Mhm.
You know what Central Park is, right?
It's a park.
No, it's not. Central Park was actually a place called Seneca Village. It was when freed black people decided to converge in one area, and they decided to redistrict that area, even though they owned the land and the houses that they built free and clear, and they destroyed those people, displaced those people, and built a park around it. There's a place called Lake Lanier.
Okay, it's similar to what they doing to Palestinian. Okay, the images that I saw on this app, what they did to Palestinian, it is unbelievable.
It used to be a thriving black town. They decided to kill the black folks, get rid of the ones they couldn't kill, and then people right now are voting on it every weekend. That's what happened to us. That's what got destroyed.
And every time we created something big.
So there's that. They also came back very fast. They don't tell you that part. Facts matter. At Grok, is there any truth to this awful event? Let's see what Grok said. Because lately I see people asking Grok about the Epstein files, especially with the royal family. They're saying it's not true. I didn't share these things yet. I'm telling you, there's so much going on. Okay, so they asked Grok, that's the AI version for X. Is there any truth to this awful event? Yes. Historical record confirms several such events. For example, Tulsa 1921, Greenwood District destroyed by white mobs killing up to 300. Rosewood, Florida 1923, town burned down, at least 6 kills. Wellington, North Carolina 1898, coup and massacre expelled thousands. Seneca Village, New York, displaced for Central Park via eminent domain. Askerville, Georgia, expelled after 1912 violence, later flooded for the Lake Lanier. I see some videos. Not too long ago, I started learning about the Lake Lanier. That people who goes there to just have fun, there have been a lot of drowning there. Okay, Edenville, Florida, however, still exists today. Sources, Wikipedia, time. Okay, so there's all of that. Yes, the problem is that government building projects are among them. Not so fun fact, my dad lost his warehouse in California due to eminent domain. Since I'm not a crybaby who sees the world through the lens of race, I don't assume they hate my dad for his skin color. I mean, you think they will do that to a white community? I don't think so. Warehouse, like, okay, let me leave that alone. It's like a squirrel distraction. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. And by the way, these things are being done because of what is it, the street February Black History Month. Okay, when Meghan was in the UK, what is it, Black History Month celebrated in the UK, I think in October. All right, let me pause. I can't believe I remember. Yeah, so the UK celebrate Black History Month in October. Okay, so there's that. And I learned that because of Meghan. I didn't know the UK celebrated. Okay, but February is the United States. Alright, so did I do that already? White people are scared. In 2026, study from the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra, Northwell found that for the first time, minority birth, including Hispanic, Black, and Asian, made up the majority in the U.S. at 50.4%, while white women birth dropped to 49.6%. You don't, what is it, Trump during his first presidency, when he was doing they do that every 10 years, was the census. Okay, I think they mess up the numbers because they pay attention to everything. They saw the white population was decreasing and they put some fake numbers. But okay, let me write. I'm telling you, everything that I bring up, I have to double check myself. Let me pause and ask. Okay, my question was that, did the Trump administration misinform in the last census? Okay, I don't even think I asked the question. Or should I put, did they put the wrong information in the census? That's what I should have said. All right, let's fix that. Okay, so this is how I question it. Did the Trump administration put wrong information in the last census? Let's see here. Document from the Brennan Center for Justice, and NPR showed the Trump administration attempted to influence the 2020 census by shortening schedules, pushing for a citizenship question, and trying to exclude unauthorized immigrants, which career official warned will compromise data accuracy, while the Supreme Court blocked the citizenship question. Legal challenges and internal memos highlight effort to alter population count. Okay? We have all of these information out there, and people still went and vote for the guy. I just don't understand this shit. This is the thing here. African American, the foundational African American, did so much progress. They lost lives. They lost their properties to make things slightly better. And then you have the new immigrants who came in with the ideal, the image that whatever image they sold, the U.S. sold to the rest of the world, while they were looking into the U.S., they see the shiny things, the fun things. You know, when you look overseas, let's say in France or in the UK or even in the Caribbean, the thing that they sold about America, you see the Statue of Liberty, these type of things that they sold, or when you're looking at movies, for instance, looking at movies that being shown how fun it is in high school. I don't know, like in California, all these people by the beach just having fun. These were the image that they were selling to the rest of the world. And many of these people around the globe, when they're looking at the commercials about America, they want to come in and enjoy that lifestyle. Meanwhile, African Americans were fighting. Okay, and then those immigrants who had the opportunity to come in to enjoy that type of freedom, but they, whatever it is that they were running away from their country, let's say for instance Cubans were running away from whatever was happening in their country, or any other part in the, I don't know, let's say in Europe. Not all part of Europe is all fun and games. So whatever they were running away from, they did not have, and they saw it in the image of America. Once they come in, they completely spent on the freedom that was there for them, and then they carry on the same mentality, specifically the Cubans. They're voting for exactly what they were running away from. This is what got us where we are. And then the African Americans were still fighting, trying to make things better. And then the new immigrants who had the proper documentation to vote, each time they vote, they're voting for people similar to those ones they were running away from their home country, put in power, and removing the rights of those African American, the things that, the shiny thing, the right, the DEI type of things that the African American were fighting for, make it fair for everybody. The new immigrants put people in power to remove it. Okay, that's what got us Trump again. Meanwhile, the foundational African American were fighting. They were still fighting. They never stopped fighting. When Trump was going after the Hispanics, I mean, they did that thing step by step. You guys should not be like shocked with some of the things that I've said, because I've said them way before they even happened. Because I saw Trump don't keep anything secret anyway. Okay, you saw the steps that they were doing, and when they were after the Hispanics, and then the Hispanics were coming, oh, they're gonna go after you next, why you don't care? The African American, the foundational African American, never stop fighting. They always go after them. All right, so I read this, so let's listen to her, and then I move on to the next one.
Show of hands in the comments, how many of you guys actually heard about the new study that was just released? You know, the study that was analyzing the United States Census and the CDC data that actually revealed for the first time in American history that the minority births, Black, Asian, Hispanic, has now officially become the majority? Y'all heard about it, right? Black American, Asian American, Hispanic American are now accounting for 50.4% of the total births of 2025. That has never happened in American history. This is why we were called the minority. This is why we're called the minority, because the whites here in America have always overpopulated us until now. Until now. And once you have it, America's in a really fucked up place. So you mean to tell me the same time that we are becoming the majority is when all of this shit is happening? And I'm supposed to think that it's a coincidence? As ICE...
Yeah, Trump been playing. They look at these numbers. I don't even know she mentioned the census, because I read the caption and then I put it on the list. And the thing is that as well, with what ICE is doing, because Trump wants America to be all white. But what's happening here, some of the whites, let's say the South Africans white that he brought in, okay, they had it better back in South Africa than in the US. But others, the type of he wants to come here, let's say from Europe, they have it better than in the United States after seeing what they're doing, especially where they killed that lady, the white lady, and the white guy as well. I can't remember their name, but by now you should know. Okay, the nurse. All right, so why would they want to come here to experience this brutality? They had their own brutality among themselves already. But anyway, and with the guns that's going around the U.S., and now I'm hearing that Trump, they were telling when Obama was running for president, they were saying that Obama's coming for their guns. But guess what? Now Trump doesn't want people with guns coming to D.C. Let's continue.
Continues to make a career out of executing the people of color here in America. I understand they claim 2 white lives. Majority of their victims are people of color, right? As they continue to do this, government funded, taxpayer funded, it just so happens to be the same time where the minority is becoming the majority. In advance, I want to stress that I already knew the statement that I'm about to say. However, the information from this study just confirms that all of those laws governing the autonomy of women, it was never for my women. It was never for black women. It was never for Asian women. It was never for Hispanic women. It's because you white women aren't giving birth and you guys are losing that majority stake. You're losing that majority holding. Because I don't believe that white supremacy would work in a country where you are not the majority. I don't think that you'd be able to get away with that shit. And this is why the American government is going so hard on women, because they need to force all of these white women to give birth. They're forcing y'all to have more kids. Y'all, not me. But I'm gonna leave it like this, okay? Not only am I pleased to hear that their birth rate is declining, because let's face it, we need more good people in this world, right? I am thoroughly enjoying the decolonization of the world. In every part of the world that I peek into via social media, I'm literally witnessing them turn white people away. Nobody's giving in to y'all no more. You're not welcome.
They're too savage.
I love it.
They're too savage. They're showing themselves. What did I say? I did say the United States is gonna show the world either how to deal with that white supremacy, or they're gonna learn how to combat it and all of that. So there it is. There it is. The world needs to be balanced. Whenever one thing is happening, no matter what you do, the world needs to balance. There's a specific focus, whatever the universe is trying to reach, and each time it gets closer, human beings, specifically white, okay, try to counteract it. And then guess what? Nature always does its thing to make it balance again. All right, so what is this? There's a video. All right, so let's see here. She's saying all of that as if black people has a camaraderie with these immigrants, although she's telling truth, but those other people hate us just as much. For other countries, I don't know if it's because I sort of understand certain things, but this is what I understand. All right, white people, wherever they go, they spread whatever, because white people always their focus remain laser focus. It is other group who's trying to live their lives don't pay too much attention to that. But white people, this is why they are so savage and other groups. They laser focus. They want to be the one. They want to be the godlike because they know the history of black people. They hate black people for the fact that they were the first. So their laser focus is to make sure the entire world be their complexion. Okay? And it seems like they're doing that thing. And it seems like it is working. And as they go around the world, they're spreading their vial of whatever they see fit about black people. Now, when they go to Africa, I'm hearing it's now. Okay, Gen Z Africans are not putting up with them. But before Gen Z, their great-grandparents, their parents, or whatnot, buy up to the BS, the propaganda that white people were throwing at them. They bought it. And I've said South America, it's done with. They already got it. Capture it. They put their people there already. I said this a long time ago. The complexion of skin color that I see coming from South America, it should not be. I'm seeing white people coming from South America. Okay? So as they go around spreading their propaganda and about black people, because the only group they seems, in my humble opinion, they cannot converge, they cannot switch, is African American. Now the goal, the objective is African American because they can never persuade them. So when you see other blacks coming from different parts of the world, and you see them coming with their misconception, it's because of nonsense they already spread out there for them when they come over here to hate on African American, which will help the white supremacists. Pretty much perfect example. 2024 election. Okay, but that doesn't give them the excuse because the common sense of things. We've seen the first presidency of Trump. We've seen so many things already happen. It should not give them that excuse to just go to the voting booth blindly, not seeing what's best for everybody. Okay? So the whole point of this is that whites, when they go outside of their countries, they spread their propaganda against the group that they want to eliminate, which will help them go toward their objective. You see even Palestinians vote against their best interests. So their propaganda work. It just doesn't work on African Americans. And so when those immigrants, whether it's from Africa or probably the Caribbean or from Asia, whatever part of the world those immigrants are coming from, when they come to the United States, their minds have been already poisoned by these white people who keeps on doing their propaganda to hate on African Americans. So when they come to the United States, their minds already poisoned. That's the way that I see it. I mean, this is a foundational African American. Americans are protecting themselves because they can't trust anybody. And I'm all for it, even though I'm not a foundational African American. But I could understand why they will protect themselves. It makes perfect sense to me. Because all those other immigrants, if they don't understand the fight that these foundational African Americans have done to give them the right to come over here, and then once they come over here, they backstab them, they don't want to be in the same neighborhood as them, they see them below them or anything like that. So why would the foundational African American, after the 2024 election, to go and fight for you? No. So they know how the fight is, so it's best for them to keep it upon themselves, and once the time comes, they'll do what they have to do to survive. They've been at it. Okay? So this is why I'm like, I sort of understand where those other immigrants come from, their mindset sort of came from, because whites. Everywhere white people goes, they spread propaganda. They have been laser focused to their objective. They want to be the one to be like they were the first on this planet or on this earth. Like they pretty much wants to replace African American. All right. When you look at, for instance, Meghan and Mambo, all right, while the media is trashing Meghan, meanwhile Mambo is copying exactly the same thing that Meghan have won, that the media is trashing, and then when they're talking about Mambo, they elevate her. Okay, this is why I keep on saying I see the parallel between these, what's happening in our lives and what's going on with Harry and Meghan. It's like a freaking book in front of me. Let's get back to the original recording. All right, so let's listen to this. What else do we have? Any videos? Okay, that's a what does that say? White births in the U.S. have fallen below 50% for the first time ever. All right, so let's listen to this. Let me go into it so it could be bigger.
The black elected officials refuse to address the problem. My own congressman refuses to address the problem. And I think the problem is black folks see all minorities as allies. And this is not the case. These people are not here for our common good. They're here for their own good. Where I don't have any ill will towards anybody, I also want to look out for my race. I'm a black American. I've never used a hyphen. But I will refuse to turn my back on my race and see what's going on in South Central to my people and let these people come in here and just take over. I'm not going to sit back and watch it. And I think it's a terrible thing, a horrendous thing, for anybody to see this going on and say, well, he's a minority like me, so I won't speak up. I don't care where he comes from. The key to this whole thing is stop the denial, stop the alliances of, in other words, he's a minority like me, so I can't speak up against him. If this was white folks committing these lynchings to us in South Central, what's going on, there would be an outrage in this country. We have had firebombs thrown through windows. We have had people's cars burned in the driveway because they happened to move into the wrong communities. We had a lady who moved to East LA, came to the state from the South, not knowing what East LA was. It was an all-Hispanic community. She wasn't there one day. We had another man who was burned out of his house in Torrance last year. We had 5 murders in Hawaiian Gardens just because the people were black. This would not be tolerated if this was white on black crime. But the fact that these people come here, and it's the numbers, sir. It's the numbers. They come here in the numbers, they build up the Hispanic community, and they get this sense of power against us. And there are race riots in the schools every day in Los Angeles. It never makes the media. The black kids are being run out of the schools every day and told to go back to Africa. It never makes the media. We are having people who are being discriminated against on every avenue of society. Economic, schools, even in our prisons now. They have drawn lines, and our prisoners in California are being beat and harassed and raped by Hispanic gang members who recently arrived here because of the numbers. My answer to you, sir, would be we don't need any new laws. Enforce the ones we got.
Wow. Trump gave them the wake-up call. All right. They put the red carpet for them. Come and help them, the whites, to take down the blacks, because the whites, their focus is African American, the dark skin. So this guy is 100% correct. All right, let's go to the next tweet. I didn't go in the comments, okay? Oh, it's one of the videos that was below the other one. Okay, imagine a bunch of mall cap reject thinking they go into Compton and round up people with brown skin. Honestly, out of all the pedophile fueled dumb moves, sending his ice Nazis into Compton takes the cake. Alright, let's see here. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm telling you, not that I like what's going on, but what the ICE is doing is those who were in the illusion, they were close to white proximity, and Trump is telling them, no, F up, okay, including white people themselves. I think what ICE is trying to do here is why they're doing this to other white people, and thank God African American then go out and protest, because they wanted the dark skin to be out there. But African American got the memo and said, nope, you're not going to get me. But what ICE is trying to do here is forcefully making those white people who's out there in protest to join them. If you don't comply or join us, this is what you're going to get. And we at a point where we knew, or they knew, how good it used to be. So why will they go to, I mean, there's a lot of fight remain to be done. I don't know if I make sense here, but let's listen to her.
When I said, don't mess with California, I wasn't kidding. ICE decided, in their wisdom, to go into Compton.
This is the area where the UK was trying to label Meghan. This is where she's from, when Meghan was an event from there. But let's listen. Okay, so what happened there?
The area they went into in Compton has 3 major gangs.
All right, so this is why during Trump's first presidency, why he went after MS-13. Okay, because they already had their plan set out. They went after the gangs to make sure when they send their ICE people to those neighborhoods, they don't have any confrontations. So I guess they forgot this group. Okay, let's continue.
Who, I guess, own territories in that area, and one ICE officer got shot, and the rest of them ran like rabbits. And I hope that the officer's okay. I don't want anybody to get shot, but of all of these dumb moves, you think you're gonna go in and what? Go and round up a bunch of gang members like you have been pulling off gardeners off the street? That's hilarious. And just the level of dumb is amazing. Yeah. That they went to Mona Park, which has 3 separate gangs that get into it all the time. And yeah, when I say they don't play, they really, really, really don't play. I don't care what kind of weaponry you have, ICE. You come marching into Compton, and you're going to get taken on. And you were. And they won't make that mistake twice, if they have any common sense. I guess we'll see, because so far they haven't had any common sense, and right now Los Angeles are barricading their offices so they can't get in or out. Los Angeles and Californians, we don't play. F.A.? F.O.
But they've done a lot of, ICE have done a lot of destruction in the early stage of that. Okay, I didn't see. Found it. Compton shooting report. What happened at California ICE operation today? First visual emerge. Okay. I checked Google. I didn't see it. Okay. This lady is cool and get straight to the point. Question: why is there this awful human hissing sound in the background of 80% videos from the US? Okay. Let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. I have a lot more, but I don't think I'll be able to finish them. Oh, it's almost done. I have to wake up my kid soon. So there's this here. Breaking. Steve Bannon, the guy who was being advised by Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein file says, quote, "We're gonna have ICE surround the polls. We'll never again allow an election to be stolen." That's their pretense, but they're the one who's trying to steal the election. They just want to do intimidation, which is illegal. To intimidate people from going to the voting booth. How can anyone not view Steve Bannon and Donald Trump as part of the cabal? They will maintain power as long as they can, no matter what it takes, because if they don't, they are going down. Okay, 17 seconds. Like I've said, some stuff I said mostly because of people outside of the US. There is a lot going on within the US. The majority of the things that you're probably seeing are what ICE is doing to people, getting killed, going to neighborhood and all of that. I'm assuming this is what most people outside of the US is seeing. But there are people who's doing the footwork, because we have to do it legally. Otherwise, Trump will jump on it to cancel everything out and say, oh, you didn't do this legally, even though he's doing his things illegally. But we have to try to get them on the premises of legality. And they know it. Okay? So let's listen to him. It's only 17 seconds.
You're damn right. We're going to have ICE surround the polls come November. We're not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country again. And you can whine and cry and throw your toys out of the pram all you want, but we will never again allow an election to be stolen. You're damn right. We're going to have...
I mean, once you get in the voting booth, no one can tell you what to do. The only thing that could happen, because there have been some issues with voting things that had happened. I don't know the full extent of it, but certain district where Trump did not win, there have been some issues where he get court orders to get those some documents and stuff like that. So the things that they were trying to do illegally after he lost the 2020 election. So now while he's in power, he tried to get it in a way where he get court orders to get those information. So the best thing that I see that needs to be happen is for the votes to be counted by hand. Don't go by the machines, because they might manipulate the machines. That's the only way that I see it. Until they fix the voting machines or create after Trump, because we don't trust him right now. The next election, everything done by hand. Until they got a decent administration and the federal government in power, and then to do something where the voting machine, either a brand new, reset it, where people cannot tamper with it. But once you're in the voting booth, I don't know what this guy is talking about. And those having people around the voting area, intimidation, I don't know. Let's see here. He's desperate. Yeah, they are desperate. They are. And this is why I said, these people, they have it in every other countries, because could have been around the 2016 or something like that. He was going around Europe spreading that same nonsense over there. All right, let me grab something. Let me pause and look for my answer, back it up. All right, so this is what I asked Google. Did Steve Bannon went to Europe to promote MAGA? Yes, Steve Bannon traveled extensively to Europe after leaving the White House in 2017 to promote populist nationalist and right-wing causes, often referred to as a MAGA style of politics. He aimed to unite far-right parties across continent and create a populist implosion against European Union. All right, so that's the thing with Putin did not want. Pretty much wants to dismantle the European Union, and the UK quickly remove itself from the EU. I mean, the pretense, I've spoke about this before, but some people came after me and said it's otherwise. But the pretense that they put to get themselves out of the EU, whatever, but the goal is that. Alright? But anyway, so he did went around and to promote MAGA. Alright, so there's all of this. Let me go to the next tweet.
Tanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.